Welcome in everyone to the Challenge After Show tonight. Jenna, Pamela, and I are talking about the challenge. All Stars 5, Rivals, Episode 6, A Star Holder is Born.
Ah,
Yeah, instead of A
Yes.
oh,
Star is Born, which was that sweet movie with B. Coops
oops.
And Lady
and
Gaga.
and Lady Gaga, as they say,
Lady
Ah,
Gaga, although that was a remake of
of A Star is Born.
A Star is Born. Correct. Good job.
I'm glad
You
I was
put
able to
that
figure it
together
out.
very well.
Nice. Ladies, I mean, I was on Instagram today at some point, and
Okay.
Wes, our boy Wes, friend of the podcast, he was, kind of doing some like comments on last night's episode. He said, best episode of the season. And you know what? Ditto from this guy right here. And I just thought it was great. And we can get into the whole Steve and Adam not having to go in and everything. And I was like, maybe is that why I liked it so much? But I also love that they got to go in every week and prove themselves and show everybody like, what are you guys doing messing with them? So, got some conspiracies I'd like to throw at you as well throughout tonight. And yes, Jenna, why don't you go next with your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts, I loved
Sure.
it. Yes, I love the episode. I mean, we finally have Adam and Steve winning, having power. I did think for a minute that all of the gameplay that everybody was finally partaking in because they could no longer just say Adam and Steve as a gimme
Hmm.
throwaway vote. I did think that maybe it was just going to be a lot of like red herrings and a lot of fake outs. I kind of thought going into voting that it was going to be Katie and Veronica and all of this other like navigating of the politics was just going to kind of be a fake out. But it was really interesting to see where everything landed tonight. Like I didn't expect it. And then to see who Steve and Adam picked, and then finally have the clips to show us why they picked the way they did. Thought it was really good, really exciting, and I loved seeing the house get shaken up. Like we finally had people they needed to play now, and it was really fun to see how they decided
mhm.
to do that.
Before they showed the clips of why Adam and Steve chose Corey and Big T, because of what happened last week, they didn't even need to show me the clips. I already thought they were going to put them in, and I was right. So I was like, okay, but then they obviously showed what went down. But I kind of already had a feeling like, why wouldn't he? Corey was pissing him off last week. But anyways, all right, Pamela, you're up.
I agree. It's funny that you say that Wes said that because I was thinking like I would say that I liked this episode a lot. I thought it was really good. Having said that, I begrudgingly care about the past episodes more. So even though I do think this was a much more entertaining and better episode, I'm been more invested in like the outcome when it is Steve and Adam just because I care. So at this point I was like, I don't know, Dario go home or Corey. I don't
Really?
like either
Okay,
of
because
you. I don't really care.
I was
Yeah.
swaying way to Dario's side over having Corey stay in this house,
I was
personally.
ultimately happy because I guess I think but after last week, I kind of don't like Dario that much either. So it's two people I don't really like very much, but two women who I like. So it was like, I don't know, really. I wouldn't have been crushed either way.
Hmm.
But
I
I
mean,
did think that the episode was great and the gameplay was great and I enjoyed it and it moved fast and it was
Yeah.
action packed.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about Dario doing nothing to advance himself socially and politically in the house after essentially allowing his number one ally and best friend to get taken out of the game. Like he was all for Leroy and Devin going into elimination. You just shot yourself in the foot because your
Mhm.
best ally, a really, really powerful team who kept winning every episode, a lot of episodes, who are
Right.
going to be in positions of power a lot, who had a lot of connections. You get them out. It's not just him. Obviously, Frank and Sam were the
Yeah.
ones who said their name, but he was very much involved in that plan. Happy for them to go in, right? They leave, and then you're in elimination the very next episode.
Yeah. Well, of course. And they're a strong team, so obviously it makes sense in that regard. But it's like this needs to be one of Katie Cooley's little facts. It is always the person that has stirred the pot or caused a scene. Like it used to be that they'd like get wasted and have a fight the night before, but the person that did something tends to be the next person voted in by the
Yeah. I
house,
mean, you really
usually.
don't. Well, I mean, he really only hurt Devin and Leroy. Like, he didn't really stir the pot of the whole house. He didn't go around like causing all these fits, calling out people having these drunken fights. Like, he wasn't like causing that much chaos. It really was just
Right.
it was just ill towards his friend. Um, But I mean, what was I gonna say? But oh, I guess sorry, what I was gonna say was we don't really see any other conversations that Dario is having with people. Like we see Ashley being really
Um,
close with Amber, looks like she's cool with Melissa. Like Ashley seems cool with the girl. Like, the girls seem like friendly, having fun together. But we don't really know like where Dario and Ashley stand in terms of like alliances that deeply.
yeah.
I
The whole
guess they thought that they
Leroy,
were much better than they were.
the whole
Well,
Leroy and Devin, well, what you saying, Dario and Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was saying that, sorry, I was saying that I think Dario and Ashley were in obviously a tenuous alliance with Leroy, Devin, and then those other Nani and Fessy and Amber. But I think that all went when he was surprised. It's like, well, you blew up your alliance, dude.
yeah.
Whereas he didn't do anything to other people. It was just really Leroy and Devin. It's not a good look to like do that to your friend. Everyone's like, what? And your allies now are not going to be loyal to you. So why is he surprised? I mean, yeah, I guess it shouldn't come as a surprise to him.
Yeah, and speaking of the Leroy and Devin going home, both of you ladies, I do believe you were worried about Frank and Sam and what would happen with the outcome of them letting, putting them in versus putting in a different team to keep Devin and Leroy around for them. Well, we'll see in a little bit. It didn't seem to affect them very much. And even though they did get the star during the, spoiler alert, during the daily, they could have still been voted in the House vote. People could have said, Frank, we don't like we did. Nobody seemed to care so far, and now they do have a star. So things are looking up and up for those two, for sure. Even though I think Sam's an awful
Were
competitor.
they able to be voted in today? I think
Yep,
we
they
didn't
could have
they.
been.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
why not? They
didn't
didn't win.
win.
The
Oh,
the
they
winner
didn't
was
win.
Steve and
Okay.
Adam. They're the only ones that were safe.
And they
Okay.
were a star holder. So yeah, you're right. Like if people feel like they're a weaker team, then they could. I
Yep,
mean, Adam and Steve won though, and they don't need a
they didn't
star.
need
They
it.
have
Yeah.
one. So they don't need to volunteer themselves. But if any other team, I guess maybe felt like, hey, I need a star, put me in
Well, because
against,
if
you know,
they could have gotten Frank and Sam voted in, then another team could have went up to Steve and Adam and said, "Hey, I want to go against Frank and Sam
Hey,
right now in an
right.
elimination. Let's do it."
yeah.
But no one was. I don't think anybody realizes. I think we do at home. There's like 3 episodes left. That's it. This is the shortest season. Well, not sorry. This is how seasons used to work. They used to be like 10 episodes with a two-top part finale, and you were done at 12. Um, and Jenna, you are on mute in case you don't realize. Okay, just
I thought I was gonna sneeze. Anyway.
oh, okay. Anyways, I just didn't want to lose all your brilliance that you were going to say next in
Oh
case you
yeah,
muted
super
yourself.
brilliant.
Let's
Remembering what I'm
go.
gonna say before I say them yeah.
Or you could do that. You could mute yourself, think about, say it out loud, then say,
I
okay,
should
now I'm going to say
do.
it. Kind of like
Yes.
Michael Scott from The Office when Pam gives him extra
Hey.
tries to talk with Jan and other people on the phone, which is a really funny episode. Let's go top of this episode, and it's Veronica. First thing we see is Veronica, and Veronica says, and I wrote it down because I thought it was hilarious. She goes, "We want to get rid of the teams that compete at a higher level than we can." And I said,
She's physical.
so yeah, physically. So everyone. Do you want to get rid of everyone? Okay, got it. Just then you'll be there by yourself at the end
That
because
she
politically, obviously, she's great, and I'm the Katie one-on-ones where she's talking to the camera. They're growing on me. I didn't like them at first, but tonight's was pretty funny. Not gonna lie. So her confessionals are getting better. But yeah, so I just thought Veronica's opening statement. I was like, okay, I'm in. This episode's great already.
I mean, listen, I think Veronica does everything perfectly for what she needs to do in the game. Like, she is such a legend. She's such a vet. If people, they don't see her as like a competitive daily threat, as a physical threat. So she gets to kind of hang out. But then when she needs to, and when she needs to get social and get kind of, tricky in there and plant some seeds, she does. And I don't know how she gets away with it. Like, in this episode, she's
Maybe
going.
not at the end though, Jenna. It's this
Maybe
episode, but it looks
not.
like maybe Corey was spilling the tea to Amber B. So we'll see. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I mean, but it helped her enough to get through this week, right? Like she's planting enough seeds and people are not confronting one another. People are not trying to figure out the source of all these seeds. And it's not just Veronica, other people are talking too. So I think the entire house was just like in confusion tonight and like no one wanted to like confront one another and really get to the bottom of who was planning everything. They just kind of wanted to talk in their own little inner circles. But it worked for her, like she's room hops, talks to different people about other teams, and she made it through.
It was fun. It was fun. I hope that people are realizing how little time they have to potentially get a star. And you know what? Maybe it wouldn't have been the worst if they decided, okay, let's throw Veronica and Katie in. At least they'd have an opportunity to try to get a star. They're not going to win this damn thing, no matter if they get a star or not. But they need to at least try to get one. So yeah, you go out three. I mean, I guess with her, she's like, I know I'm not going to win, so I might as well make another couple extra weeks of money. I get the paycheck idea here, but she is going to have to go in there and lose eventually.
Yeah,
Or
but
maybe she gets lucky. Would they? Let's see. If Veronica and Katie went in tonight for that balance thing, hell no, they would have got close. There's no way those two would have been. I don't think so. But yeah, we'll see. We
No,
will never know.
they I feel like that, well, then again, they're tiny, tiny people too, so that would be
yeah.
hard to grab
To
those.
re and then yeah, and then to have
Yeah,
to stack them, and then also I
yes.
think it's a weight thing too, and we'll get into it with the Corey and Big T stuff.
Yeah.
Their weight is a lot different than Dario and Ashley's was. So I think weight had something to do with it too,
Um,
but that's for later on. Um, yeah, we get the more Dario. Speaking of Dario and Ashley, we get more of the setup of like, well, where is this gonna go? Are we gonna try to rekindle things? Are we ever gonna talk about the past? That was the payoff we didn't
okay,
really
so
get at the end. I'm a little
someone
upset,
Did
didn't
but
like
though.
that.
what's that, Jenna?
Somebody didn't like that storyline.
I wanted it to turn into I wanted them to like maybe try to like maybe rekindle or hook up or something. But it looks like nothing's. Oh,
I
Pam's not a fan. Okay.
Down on him, so I'm like, no, Ashley,
I just want to
girl,
see
you can do
relationships.
better.
I
Yeah,
mean, I just want to see a relationship
I know,
start
but
again, I guess. I don't know.
then maybe Ashley and like Fessy will fall in love or something.
Where is this coming from? Where was that in
I
nowhere?
don't
I
know.
know what
He's a guy.
I like the Dario Ashley storyline just because they were together. It seemed really serious. They lived together. They broke up, and now they're back competing on a show together, and they're working really well together. So it is kind of like, are you guys gonna hash this out? Like it's at least
But
interesting enough.
okay, but so far
They,
it looks like they're just going to be friends and they've decided to just compete and go for the money. So that's where I'm like, oh, has it ended? And second of all, my first conspiracy of the night, okay, because you ladies are going to tell me I didn't do too much of like deep thinking about this. Dario says that they were living in Las Vegas together, all right? And randomly one day he leaves. The previous episode, when he's talking about Leroy, he says that Leroy gave him a place to stay in Vegas and got him a job in Vegas. Was that after he left Ashley's house, or was that before and then him and Ashley somehow winded up in Vegas? Like, it just always like, is that Dario's storyline? He was in Vegas with her, they broke up, he left, and then that's when Leroy gave him a place to stay and got him a job. Or was it reversed or something? I was like, oh wait, is that all connecting? I so that's like my conspiracy, I guess, but it's not
yeah,
really.
it's
Yeah,
not really a conspiracy.
Jenna,
Maybe
I said
a
I had
fact.
two of them, and I need to make more than one now.
More like a fact check question. But yeah, I mean, I like that they hashed it out in some sense because I was kind of interested in what happened, and not that it's any of my business, but it does sound like, I mean, if Daria wasn't ready for what Ashley was ready for, I mean, I guess that's his truth to hold on to. But yeah, it seems like he left the relationship, and if I was Ashley, I'd probably be still
Yeah,
kind of harboring some ill feelings towards him,
she
Yeah.
want she obviously
So
wanted
I'm
something
with
more, and
Pam. So I'm with Pam. I don't want them to rekindle. Some breakups, just leave
oh,
them. No,
Pamela, come on.
yeah, they don't need to get back together. Dario obviously
No,
left
I don't need
because
them to get back together, but it'd be cool if they like, started to like hook up or something like that, and
no,
they
that's
worked together.
messy though. That's how feelings get hurt. They don't need to go back and do that.
I guess I just want the old reality of the challenge to be back, where they would hook
But
up.
I will say, like, they are handling working together so gracefully. Like,
I feel
so
like it's also been so long though, right? Like,
been long.
did they break up a
Yeah.
long time? She's had a kid with the NFL player since then. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of other relationships, and they again, I was doing a deep dive on her on the internet, and like they're obviously not together anymore. I think that's been confirmed, but it looked like they were dating for a while because there's a ton of pictures of them acting all coupley online.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was just like a fling. I think it was like a serious relationship.
Yeah,
But
I think so. Definitely. Yeah.
yeah. All right, Pamela, you don't want to see that. Okay, so we'll move on from Dario and Ashley.
mean, maybe
Um,
now I'm thinking about it too deeply, but now that she is like a single mother and raising a child, maybe she could be have a fling with Dario. She does seem the way she was
okay.
smiling at him. She does seem like she's attracted to him, which again, it's beyond. I literally don't get it. But Fessie's football-y. I'm like, can't she just steer her eye that way? She obviously likes these, beefy men.
I wouldn't call
Um,
Dario beefy, but all right.
beef, like
I
beefcakey. Is
consider the
that, do
football
people
player
still say
beefy.
beefcake? Beefcake? That's still a term.
Beefcake.
A
He's
I
beefcake?
more
don't
he's more
know.
cake than beef,
It's
but all
more
right.
cake than beefcake. But yeah, those like big football-y guys, and that's why I said Fessy. Just look at him. He's a football looking guy.
Yeah, and of course in the beginning when we see all those vignettes, I'm always like so suspicious of why they're showing us them. Like for
Yeah.
example, we do get that moment with Devon and Shane too when we haven't seen them like pretty much the entire season so far. But when it did come to Dario and Ashley's, I actually was just like interested. I was like, "Oh, good. Like this
Yeah.
is a good storyline. I want to see more about this." And then it wasn't in towards later in the episode, I was like, oh, that was why we were probably seeing so much of them. They're clearly like a name on everybody's lips. Oh, shoot, what's going to happen here? They're probably going home. Like, I did start to tie it together. But yeah, now that the episode is unfolded, it is interesting they gave us that tidbit with Devon and Shane because I feel like they don't show anything unless it's like an intentional part of the storyline for the episode.
Well,
And
it felt like it was maybe, I'm hoping it comes back because it was really kind of a boring little conversation. They're basically working both sides of if they weren't
yeah,
partners, they wouldn't be working the same side. They have different, allies or whatever. So I'm hoping it comes back next week or the week after or something because all we saw was just a quick little clip like halfway through that, they're obviously like when they were trying to decide who to vote in, they were like, well, who should we say? Because we're both working. But yeah, it was kind of a nothing burger scene. And it was also just kind of boring. And it was totally like, okay, can you guys go talk by the water and we're gonna follow you with the camera as if it's naturally happening. But no, it's a scene that they planned out. You're gonna shoot at 12 o'clock today, Shane, okay? Just so you know. Go to the water and we're gonna I don't like those scenes. That wasn't for me. So but then again, I also said it was the best episode of the season so
Yeah.
far. So we're gonna get into some
no,
good
no,
stuff.
I
Yeah.
did
But
like
everyone,
seeing them. I feel like we got to see more of people that we
I wish we
haven't.
could see him in a different way, though. That was such a boring, like, you're working, we wouldn't be working together if we weren't partners. We both have other allies in the house. And I'm like, man,
mind it because the whole episode was sort of centered around the way everyone was gaming, which I liked. It was
Yeah.
fun to see the way each team was approaching it, and obviously Veronica and Katie had the messiest, most fun approach,
yeah.
like stirring chaos. But it was fun because we haven't seen it's been so straightforward, pretty much. Thus far, it's been everybody against Adam and Steve. So now having that not as an option, it did force everyone to show up in a way we haven't seen before.
And we'll get into the House vote in a little bit, but just a thought on the House vote. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of them doing House votes anymore. And just because it's like, how do they decide who gets to vote first? Or, you know what I mean? Because then that vote holds way too much freaking weight with the rest of the house because no one wants to stir the damn pot anymore. Back in the day, no one gave an F. They were paying for like $5 and they were just having fun being on reality TV. So they'd say different names no matter who started it. Now it starts and we got the whole like, is the house a person thing? Because they just go with it. They just follow the leader, man. So yeah, the household throwing. I wish I knew how they decided who got to go first because that really it holds way too much weight nowadays on the show. But we'll get
Agreed.
back into that in a little bit. But if you
Wish
all
the
want
loser just went in on, frankly. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the best. I wish
to,
the loser
okay,
went in and then the
great.
other people vote, for who they want. But
Or no,
the
or just
whole,
have the winner. The winner gets to vote someone in. The loser has to go against who the winner decides. You can just do it that way and not even have a house vote. But then again, they think it's building drama, so they want to keep something like that in there, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the House vote can do that. It can switch it up
Yeah.
because I do always love that when the loser of the daily goes in, it feels like deserved. It feels like
Yeah.
okay. But I guess, if they want to take out big people and go for star holders, then the losers are typically probably not going to be those more powerful winning type teams. So in this case, it does give the House the players some power to try to switch the game up.
And at least
yeah,
TJ tried to call it out. He was like, "Who's they? Who are you talking about? That's what they want." And he's like, "So I wish
Uh,
I wish he dug in a little more, but he's just not that type of guy. But sometimes he does get on them, and I wish he kept going with it a little more because I like that he said something because it is ridiculous."
No, I kind of had a different opinion on that
Okay.
actually, because I'm blanking on who he was laying into about that, but he
Well, he
kept
wasn't laying. He very lightly laid into them, but it was
sure, but it was only one team. It was only one team he kept questioning. The last team who was like, yeah, this is what's going on.
Shane and Davon, because
It
I
was
was
think
it
Shane and
Shane
Davon
and
Davon.
Davon?
He
say
kept
something if
pressing
they want
them.
to.
Yes, you're right. And it's like, why do they have to be the one team now to put all their cards on the table? And also, yeah, I mean, it is funny as the host to be like, well, who's they, guys? Like, there
Yeah.
is a point to like, okay, well, let's be confrontational here. Let's call each other out. That would be good for drama. But at the same time, like, these people are playing a game and they don't have to let out their sources. Like,
I
this
know.
isn't,
that's why I don't think
we
it
have to
works
be
anymore,
honest.
though.
We don't
Too.
have to be truthful. This is just the game. We're playing a game. So I kind of was like, they don't need to expose
No,
how
they
they're.
don't, and that's
Yeah.
on the producers for not being able to catch that earlier. That they're just all gonna. I mean, people did. They used to do it all the time, like especially this season where they all would just say Steve and Adam, but they're just gonna keep trying to do it, and it's kind of
Yeah.
not great TV. But
Well, I
all right.
found it really interesting how it unfolded tonight. Like, I didn't see Dario and Ashley being the house vote. Like,
Well,
I
that's
was
the
totally,
point, Jenna.
yeah,
Like, I don't even know if anybody did. They were just waiting to see who went first, and then they started copying each other, and that's why I'm like, who got the first vote?
Like,
Wait.
huh? Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
well,
No,
they're going Dario and Ashley because they just wanted to. We were all going to say all these different names, but we're just going to copy them now so we don't have to get more blood on our hands. That's the problem.
yeah. Well, I mean, I do feel like there was that whole group, like Melissa, she was talking to Corey and Big T. Like, there was definitely like facets of the house who did want to say Dario and Ashley. Like, we kind of did see that, but
I heard like
them
every, I
getting
feel
the
like I heard every
whole
name.
house to do it is what surprised me. Like I said, I still thought it was ultimately going to be Veronica and Katie just because of like a letdown of TV. I was like, well, it's probably going to be like the easiest people to say. And then, of course, Steve and Adam, when they have this power, they're going to have to pick somebody to go against their best allies. Like, I thought it was just going to be
Right,
shit.
that would have sucked. You're right.
But
Yeah.
it didn't.
Yeah.
It was actually so much more exciting and better than that.
This is why it's the best episode of the season because when you get when you get like Dario and Ashley, I was like, okay, well that sucks. I wanted to see where their relationship went, but then we get the to me like a villain on the season has to go against them. I was so bought in on this elimination, rooting for Dario and Ashley, like edge of my seat, like actually like nervous. And I'm like, I love that I get to feel that way. Now, see, that is a proper mute that she just did
what
there.
you're supposed to
That's what
do.
she did a great job.
Good job,
Okay,
Jenna.
so let's get into the daily challenge. It's called Playing Dirty. It was
Oh my
run with
God, we
three
didn't even do
heats.
the daily. I'm sorry. I went all the way into the house vote so many times.
Oh no, it's I actually brought the house up vote first, so it's my that's on me. But like, yeah, the daily was really fun too because you get the wackiness of having to go down the slide, and yet everyone had different plans on how to get the mud off, which is hilarious too. And then the puzzle thing was okay, but then you had people messing up like I got it, and they had to swim, but oh no, I don't have it, got to go back. So just overall, they had the comedy built in with the athleticism of having to, and you had to have a lot of endurance probably to keep climbing up that ladder. They kept it quick, they kept it fast. Apparently, Big T is good at Scrabble, and yet she sucked at this challenge. So I can't. I'm
Love
not
Big
going to get talk
T.
too much more about her this season. So I got to get all of it out right now.
Okay, well, I'll get out my honorable mention of loving her just because I love like how she jokes about herself. Like she won't
Yeah,
get
that she's
embarrassed
good at
about
something when she's
like,
not. Oh
oops,
yeah, hilarious.
I guess I overestimated where I was in this challenge. I love it. I love that she doesn't take herself too seriously. It's funny.
I'll never be. I don't think it's possible for me to be a Big T fan. Every season, I'm just like, God, she couldn't climb a. Remember she the lad the season she couldn't climb a ladder out of the water. I was like, I can't.
I really
I
like
can't.
her personality. I don't know that, and I enjoy watching her, but she is not a super competitor and she seems like a nice person too. So she's not, conniving the way Veronica and Katie are, which I love. So Big T, I'd like to see in a different format, maybe, because I do really like her, but like something where she's not competing, maybe. Because I like her. I don't know if this is the venue for her.
Yeah. I was surprised that Frank and Sam won, Heat won, because in all honesty, I didn't think Frank was getting a lot of those symbols off. I thought he was actually having one of the harder times. Like he kept going up and down, and I was like, he's not revealing anything. So I was kind of surprised that they won the first heat.
Well, they won the first heat, but they didn't have the best score of the night either. So and that's what kind of was like a little iffy about how this was set up for me. I'm like, okay, so they could have played in theory, they could have placed like third, but still, but or fourth. If all the star holders the three star holder teams, if they all had better scores and they placed fourth,
Right.
I know they still beat out all the other people, but that's why I last episode I really thought that Steven Adams should have got to choose who gets the star for now,
Mhm.
or whoever wins this daily, whether it be a star holder or not. If a star holder wins, they have every right to be able to give that star to someone. Instead, in theory, the fourth place team, which I don't know if they
Right.
finished fourth, but they got a star because they finished in theory, could have finished fourth. BS, and guess who won tonight? And that's my next conspiracy. But Steven Adam won tonight, so they not only won the elimination last week, but they won again today, and they still didn't get to pick who gets that goddamn star because they would have chose that they would have chose Katie and Veronica, and it would have been awesome for them because they would have had some support in there. Uh,
Yeah.
but the
That
big
would have made
conspiracy
good
for me is
TV.
though too. The conspiracy for me is, I mean, my God, who the hell knows who won this goddamn thing, really? Let's give Adam and Steve a night off. Adam, let me know your thoughts on this, but the producers could have just given it to any goddamn person. And I'm happy they gave it to you and Steve, don't get me wrong. But like, how do we know who won this damn thing? It could have been milliseconds off. They could have lost by 3 seconds and they could have still given it to him. And who's going to call him out? So just throwing that out there as a conspiracy. That's a real conspiracy, Jenna.
That's
That's
actual
not my
textbook.
Dario timeline
That's
conspiracy.
not a fact check. That's the
Okay.
conspiracy.
Yeah,
But
I like
yeah,
it.
this,
I
this challenge was
totally.
really. Sorry,
We
what?
just said totally agree. We just buy. It's like, and the winner was. It's like so after what we made weighed the gram the same. It's like this time we'll
Wade
give
the
it to
grams of the
them.
drink last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. I think the challenge was really fun. Like I liked it. I feel like they've all been creative this
Yeah.
year. They've all been like
The
completely
eliminations too.
different.
The eliminations too. They're
Yes.
fun. The one tonight was great. I can't wait to talk about it. Yeah.
Completely different, fresh, creative, very funny. It looked very hard to reveal the symbols. Like
Mm.
you couldn't just slide off of that slide and
That mud,
then
I don't know how they stuck
it
that
was
mud on there,
so
but that
thick.
was, yeah, it was a
Yeah.
thick
It was
mud that they
thick.
smashed into that thing. So it was hard
And
to
I
just roll off.
loved Sam's idea to go horizontal, but again, that really didn't do much either.
No, because only certain body parts are pressed against the mud. Her legs were like flailing around. So all she had was like her heels were dug in. So you had like a line for the heels and a line for her butt. And like, well, there's a whole gap in the middle there. But yeah,
It just was so
Yeah.
funny to see them constantly slide off the slide, fall into the water, do it again. I love the strategy of holding on and like snowflaking your snowmanning your
that was
feet
fun.
to
That
try
was
to reveal them.
Corey was the first
Corey
one to do
did
that.
a
Yeah.
really good job at that. Yeah, that was really smart. Nicole, again, I'm always honorable mentioning Nicole just hilariously sliding right off there, revealing like nothing.
Nothing.
Nicole, Melissa telling her where exactly she needs her to slide and
And
her
she's the
going the
opposite. Yeah.
opposite side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good for them. What a team. Another
They're
team that
still
there's
here.
I can't imagine them winning. Oh my God. I just don't see it.
Team
All right.
accents.
Anything else? I'm trying to think. There's other things in here that we should talk about. So Frank and Sam win the first heat. Nani and Turbo win heat two. However, because they already have a star, Fessy and Amber still get to try to continue. Was obviously when Frank and Sam won, they just said stop. You other two are not going to be able to even get the star tonight. And then in heat three, it was Adam and Steve obviously who won it as well. So like you have Nani and Turbo winning a heat and Adam and Steve winning a heat. Who's to say that their time wasn't faster than Frank and Sam? They just didn't have a star. So that's at least two teams. So they probably could have finished third in theory, not fourth, but third.
Mhm.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
But this is how they made the
you're
rules,
right
and the
about
rules are the
that.
rules, and we go with it.
Yeah.
So Frank and Sam have a star now. Uh, any other thoughts on the daily?
I mean, I guess we kind of talked about, but I was just so pumped when Adam and Steve won. I literally was like, "Fuck
Oh yeah,
yes!
oh yeah, yeah.
Finally!"
I mean, thank God. It really would have been boring and dumb if they didn't. So I'm glad they won. Not that I don't think they did, but I'm
They
glad
definitely
that it worked.
look. They definitely finished really fast. They could have definitely won. But I'm just saying, if they finished right in
I'm
second or
sure
third,
they
just give them the
did.
damn win. They need like, and also producers, it's smart for you to give them a win because then this house can get mixed up and we can get something else going on this episode. They earn their stripes. They deserve to be in the final already, and it's only episode 6 out of 10. So leave them alone. Let someone else do it. Because you know damn well if they lose next week, what's going to happen? They're
Hmm.
probably going to go back in. They're not going to go, oh, nope, Dario and Ashley are our new guinea pigs. They got to go. No, they're going to go right back to Adam and Steve if they don't win next week.
I don't know. Maybe it would be smart because now it's like, as Veronica said, to get out the more physically capable teams. Maybe it'll be like a Revenge of the Nerds situation where all the teams are like, "Fuck that! We not good athletes." Like, so there's Nani and Turbo, Daria and
Daria's
Ashley.
a good show from the 90s.
Dario and Ashley were Daria. Yeah, she just gets the A at the
She
end of
gets the A at the end. That's
Dario and Ashley.
fun. There
The
you
male
go.
female teams, what if everybody band together to just get those ones out and star
Yeah, but then
holders?
you still have like the Fessy and the Amber Bees. I
No,
mean,
Fessy and Amber B
they
would
don't
be
even have
fun
they
to
don't
try
even
to get
mind you, they don't
out.
even have a star yet. So why even don't even touch them. Go after star holders so you can get a star.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
now we know if two star holders go against each other, that star goes up for grabs to anybody, or you just do a
Mhm.
star holder versus a non-star holder. What happens if two nons go after at
Nons.
two
Not
nons?
to not.
Not two nonnies, but two nons. What if you get two nons up there?
I think
I don't know.
Is that even possible? It's got to be
I don't think
possible.
that's possible. Maybe
If
it is.
a Well, why not? I mean, if
Maybe it is. It has to be. It has to be. How could you not like
Well, what
it,
does the winner get?
I guess the
that's what I'm
house
wondering.
incentive, the house always has to vote in a star holder question mark. Not that they have to by
They,
rule, but by theory. If they're in the house, they're like, don't we pretty much have to vote a star.
I'm serious though. If two nons go in there,
I don't know
what
what
if they get
happens
to
to
steal
nons.
any star they want from who's up there? They should be able to just take anyone's star.
I
Yeah.
think that would probably be what happens.
It has to be. What else could they do?
But on
Yeah.
the topic of everybody going back to jump on the Steve and Adam guinea pig train,
Hmm.
it would just be really shitty if that happened because Adam and Steve did partner up with two really powerful, strong teams.
I
So
know.
they did make deals with Nani and
And maybe
Turbo.
they have the numbers now, Jenna. You might be 100% right.
So, and they're also, those are teams that are really capable of winning the everyday challenges. So if they go back on their words, and that's really shitty,
But we're also running out of
supposed to do them a
episodes.
favor.
So we're
Yeah.
running out of episodes though. So people are going to go back on their word real quick to try to get into this final. And
Yeah, if they do, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Because Turbo doesn't give a shit. So Turbo's gonna do whatever he wants. I feel like Nani has a little bit more like loyalty type of integrity to like that. But yeah, she's also there to win. So she might be like, fuck it, I don't
yeah,
care.
I'm waiting for him to explode on her or her to explode on him because again, that's another team like a Shane and Davon. We haven't really seen much
Believe
of
that
them
we
besides
can't
that
believe
first
that.
episode.
I
So
can't believe it either. They're so like they're such like a fiery, you
again,
know what I mean? Like
this
hot-headed
thank
team.
God for Adam and Steve this season because a lot of the people that we talked about be like, oh man, oh they're gonna be so crazy together, Nani and Turbo or anyone else. We're not getting as much like even Shane and Davon. Shane was always great on the show. Davon always had her one-liners. Really haven't seen much of that. I mean, I'm telling you. So we're really lucky for Adam and Steve. And now even tonight, we're gonna get into it next. We did the house vote so we can get into the elimination. But Dario and Ashley versus Corey and Big T was a great elimination for many, many reasons. One, it was legitimately close. And it was because I looked, they showed from an angle of a camera, Big T and Corey putting up those stars. And I looked at the other, you could see the other people, other Dario and Ashley, their stars were almost on there too. They were all like tied up at 4, 4, 5, 5, whatever it was, how many stars they had. Very, very close finish. I also loved who won. I was so happy to see Corey go home. Also with Corey, the guy can't stand on a balance beam. How the hell is he going to balance on a ball? I was like, there's no way this works out for him. So there was that whole thing the whole time I'm watching it. But yeah, let's do overall thoughts on the elimination. It was called, what the hell was it called? Stack Attack.
Stack attack. Pam, you go first.
I liked it. I liked it was two girl and guy teams. A girl and a guy, two teams of girl. Okay. Sorry, my mind is, but I enjoyed that because it did make it more fair that each team's weight distribution was going to be different-ish, even if it's like not that drastically different, so like Big T and Corey. Just physically, I feel like the sizing, like the way males and females are proportioned would make that balancing really hard. So it was fun watching them figure that out. I was ultimately rooting for Ashley and Dario to win, so I was happy, but it was tense. Yeah, it was a tense. I liked it. It was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was cool to watch. It was challenging, and you could actually see what was going on. So I liked it.
Yeah, I really liked it. It did look really hard, and right off the bat, you have Dario and Ashley fall off like right away, and you're kind of like, uh-oh, is this going to be a fluke? Is this going to be the trend? So yeah, I was also rooting for Ashley and Dario, and I felt confident with them as well. Husband take, husband on the couch take that I bring
We
up every.
need that every week,
He's like,
please.
yeah, but Dario actually sucks. Like from his perspective, he thinks Dario sucks as a player, which I'm a little bit more like. I think he's better than that. I
He's
wouldn't put
never. I'm with your. I'm with your husband. Am I allowed to say his name on camera? I think I have by accident anyways.
Or
I've said Matt's name on camera. Okay. I'm
very
okay.
unique name.
Yeah,
So
Well,
just what his
they
name
can
was
still
like,
somehow try to find him.
charisma
Uh,
backstage. It was
I
like-
I am 100% with Matt on this. I think he's a mediocre player because only because he hasn't really done anything in the seasons that he's done. He also hasn't done that many seasons though too. So yeah, he's kind of to me he's never done anything to make me like yeah he's a really good
yeah,
player.
no, I guess
Same
it.
with like an Ashley though too. And Ashley I'm like and then but the thing is all four players that were in the elimination haven't done really anything on this show. So I was like okay well they're all kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, but there was something about like I know what you're saying, and I can agree with you. Like Dario overall hasn't been like this spectacular player. Like if you asked me like 7 years ago, I would say he sucks too. But there was something about like I feel like they seemed so poised. I was really confident with them. Like, and I don't know, and Ashley, I've seen her like workout videos and stuff. I feel like she has great balance and is super
Yeah, yeah.
athletic. So I was feeling really confident with them, and they've been working really well together this entire
I
season.
think it was a communication thing too. They were very, and they always those two from what we've seen this season so far, calm, cool, collected the whole time, except when
Yeah.
like together. I mean, like Dario getting talked to by Devin and Leroy, he had no idea what to do with that. But when he's with her, they don't freak out. Like
He's the
you heard
boss.
Corey yell at Big T, "Get on!" And I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, Corey, it's too. It
yeah.
was like beginning of the elimination too. I'm like, Corey, you're very much in
Yeah,
this show.
shut
Why are
up,
you yelling at her? Even
Corey.
if he was at the end, you don't have to yell at her. But like, what are you yelling so fast at her
Yeah.
Oh,
for?
I
With
actually must have missed that somehow. I did not
uh,
catch on to
Yeah,
the
he yelled at her like right at the beginning of it, like get on. And then of course, and this was my favorite part of the elimination, it's right at the end, right as they're about to put that last one on, they fall, and we get what the hell Melissa was freaking out about when we saw it in the trailer for this damn season. And I'm like, there it is. It's like her world was ending. It was hilarious. It reminded me of, and this is only going to be for sports fans out there. It reminded me of when the Seahawks were playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and Russell Wilson threw to try to win the whole game. He would have
and they
won the
got
Super
picked
Bowl,
off.
but then the Patriots picked it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Butler picked it off, and we ended up winning. And they showed on the sideline Richard Sherman, and his face went like that, the same face that Melissa made. We should do a side by. There should be a side by side meme of that on online by the end of this week, hopefully somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Yeah, but I was definitely rooting for Corey Light to have some humble pie tonight because he just, he walks around, talks around with so much bravado that it's
yeah.
like, okay, well, now you actually have to go in there.
You know what someone called Corey Lay online?
Uh-oh,
They
very
no.
called it.
lame.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. They called him
But
Corey Lay up.
Up? Yeah,
well,
yeah. Walked
Pretty
right
good.
into
I was
that.
like, that's good.
yeah.
I gotta mention that on the show tonight. That was funny.
Well, I think the smartest thing Dario could do, which he does, which impresses me, is listen to Ashley. She was like, get up, because she is very calm and she does tell him what to do in these challenges, and he does listen, which is nice. She's like, come here, hold my hand. Like she coaches him,
That was
and
great.
he
Yeah.
actually takes the coaching. So that's, I
Yeah.
think, why they're working
Yeah.
so well together.
Yeah. And
She had like
I think
perfect balance at the end too. I feel like she was like a statue putting that last star on.
it was so good. And I think she, like I said, calm, cool, collected, uh, very smart too. And I don't think Dario's smart. So I think that she
Mhm.
kind of takes the reins and says, "This is how we're gonna do it. You're obviously like you're probably physically stronger than me, so you take a. We're gonna they balance they balance
Yeah.
each other out really well. Corey and
Yeah.
Big T, no, it was not going to be a team that was going to go all the way, and they lost very. I mean, they almost won, I
Neck
guess,
and neck
tonight, but
though.
still, no.
It was exciting though. They made it
Yes. It was
exciting.
very
It,
close. I
yeah.
admitted that from the beginning. There was no trick camera work. I looked, I saw it. It was legit. It looked like it was very close all the time. Um, yeah.
Yeah, they put up a really good fight. And I will say, how much I love a friendship arc, a healed rivalry. So at the end, when Corey and Big T are gonna go,
Oh, you
Corey,
mean the crocodile tears? Oh, yeah, okay.
oh no, come on, listen. I did dislike his gameplay a lot, but that did have me for a moment where I was like,
Did
oh,
it?
that's really sweet. I love it. Every time I'm like,
I
look,
know, I know.
stop,
I just don't believe
again.
him. I think I think he's the type of guy that can cry on command and make
Really?
people feel bad for him. Personally.
It's also funny because he said that he wants to take the money and do an inclusive gym. And I'm in Palm Springs, which is extraordinarily, I'm like, is there a gym that's non-inclusive? I guess
I
there is
wrote
places
down,
where people feel, but we're from LA, we lived in LA obviously
well,
together.
yeah,
And
like,
now it's like, oh boy, I don't feel like anyone's not comfortable at the gyms I've been to.
so
So,
I wrote down the same thing, Pam. I wrote Corey wants to open a queer inclusive gym. I wrote, so a gym. He wants to open a gym.
right. I get the
Maybe,
vibe,
and
like a
Jenna, see, Jenna will
safe,
be the
I
nice one
get
about this.
it.
So maybe I think it's more on maybe some type of bathroom etiquette. I think maybe that's would make it even more inclusive. But there's like
Oh,
unisex bathrooms at most gyms now too. But maybe they mean
it's funny.
another
No,
locker room of
especially
some kind. I'm not even sure. But like
I
to
was just being
me,
snarky more than because in Palm Springs too, I'm like literally
no,
often the
to me
only
it felt
woman
I
or
didn't realize that gyms weren't like I feel like they're pretty darn inclusive. Like everyone's cool, everyone's supporting each other at the
in
gym.
like
People are
Alabama
cool.
or something, they're not, but where we have lived, it just struck me as
Well,
a
you're in
chuckle,
Palm
a little,
Springs, so yeah,
yes,
I mean, and we were all in
Yeah.
LA, so I mean, come on, what are
Well,
we
I
doing?
mean, gyms can
exactly.
historically be really macho heavy, like a lot of times that's why girls
So
and women don't want to go to the gym either, because it just can feel like very like masculine and
uh,
but I get what he's saying, but yeah, I wonder where he lives. I don't know.
yeah, no, I was more just being snarky because that is exactly what I thought. I like a
I mean,
queer
I made
inclusive
the
gym,
joke.
a
Yeah,
gym,
he's
yeah.
so he's
But
opening a
I get
gym.
it. You want
Like,
us to feel so. I get. Look, do that's. I was
well,
more being,
I
but
would
it
be
struck me
interested to
as
hear.
funny.
I would be interested to hear like how does he make it more inclusive? Like, what's that next step that I'm missing? And that's why I was thinking maybe a
Give
bathroom or a
Corey,
locker room type
Corey.
situation
I'm
to
going to
make people
offer
feel
him a
more
great
comfortable.
business tip right now. Just move to Palm Springs, Corey. Just come live in Palm Springs, and you will feel very included in any gym you attend.
There you go.
I
I met
promise.
Lance Bass in Palm Springs one time. And if you go deep enough into my Instagram, you'll see the picture. I took a picture like of him with like I think it was his boyfriend at the time, but now they're married and then like some other friends. They might have been there for Pride. I'm not sure because Palm Springs is Pride every year. And I do this like a selfie with him in the background, and Lance looked over for my selfie to be in the picture with me. So I was like, Lance, you the man. Thank you for that.
I have a friend who was Lance Bass and his husband's Manny. Like he was their man. Yeah.
Yeah, they have two little kids. I listen Lance Bass's podcast. He's not doing it as much anymore. It was really good when he was doing it like on a regular basis. I really enjoyed watching his
Heard that it
or
was.
listening to it.
Luke liked it too.
Yeah, he had some
Yeah.
great guests on there, and just him and his husband. They're funny together, and they have a good time they're doing their thing, and they make me laugh. So yeah. All right.
Shout out to Lance Bass.
Shout out to Lance. Shout out to
He
Lance.
was on the
What
circle
else
for a
we got?
minute
I think
too.
that's everything I have. Unless Jenna, you got some more thoughts? Sorry.
Oh, no, good episode.
All right.
We have to talk about, sorry, we have to discuss Corey, like, can't get out without being a little trickster, telling
Oh, that, yeah, yeah,
Amber,
yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
revealing Veronica and Katie. What a little asshole.
I mean, come on, Pamela. I don't blame him for that, though. Why not? I mean, it's your last.
Was doing it too. As much as like Veronica and Katie sat there and told the camera, we're going to start chaos, so it's more obvious. But Nani was going around saying, vote for Veronica and Katie. Is going around saying stuff to tell Amber that it's all their fault in this, like, I know what's up way when you're leaving. I just feel like it's kind of like, don't shut up, Corey. I don't know. I don't like him. So
No,
I didn't like,
I
and I
mean,
like
look,
Veronica and Katie. So I
that's
didn't
the
like
part that
that.
bothered me the least about him tonight. But yeah, sorry, Jenna, go on.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, he has a really good hunt. Like, he actually is correct in certain ways, but he doesn't know that. So that's where it's kind of annoying because if you just think you have a really good hunch and you're telling Amber B, who I feel like is so sincere and trusting, she already trusted her initial source being Veronica, and now she's being told Veronica lie. If I was her, I'd just be like, ugh, like who is telling me the truth? I have people coming in both directions. And I remember when she announced her autism diagnosis, one of the things that she said that made her feel really seen in her diagnosis was that she always would mirror people in social situations and didn't really know like how to pick up on social cues and just felt really weird socially. So I
Uh,
feel bad for her in this moment because you can see she's like questioning herself, replaying things in
right,
her mind, and she's probably totally questioning her own judgment, right? And
right.
her whole all of her social interactions with people. So I just felt really bad for her. And it's like, you know, it's not, I'm not saying Corey is wrong for trying to share some information with his friend and ally if he thinks it's going to help her, but it's kind of like, don't also like fuck with her if you don't know this is fact. You know what I mean? But I guess he's just saying like, hey, here's what I think. You do with this information what you will, you know? And for that, I mean, that's yeah,
Jenna, what you're saying, I really agree with, and what you just said makes me understand why I disliked it so much, which is it felt to me mean-spirited. I feel like he went to Amber being like, I'm gonna hurt you with this information. Like he knows that she trusts her. And so it was like mean. It was mean to do to Amber. I feel like it was not not a nice thing to do. He said like they're against you. She was like, I thought that they were, on my side. He's like, they're not. They're against you. I felt like it had a mean agenda too. And I just think he's like a mean guy sometimes.
I don't think he had mean intentions. I don't. I don't think he had a mean agenda. I think he was actually looking out for her by saying, "Hey, you trust
Really?
these people." I do. Yeah, because
Okay.
I think he was saying you trust these people, you shouldn't. But my whole point was I guess he doesn't know that that's cold hard fact. So he should have like presented it more of that way. You know, like
And he said, I heard verbatim them say whatever they said. I don't remember. We want to get out
all
strong
right.
teams. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of fact, but yeah, I just feel like at that point, like you're going home. Now you're going to mess with, like, I just feel like Katie and Veronica, like, let them do their thing to some extent. I feel like, why are you going to upset someone who feels, it felt like Amber felt personally hurt, not just that she's thinking about her game. She's like, I trusted Veronica. I mean, I feel like Katie and Veronica aren't going to win. So I feel like, oh, let them stir up some chaos when they can. I don't know. I guess that's my prerogative to think, but also like, uh, they sure they can get called out for it. But I feel like he was leaving. Why would you do that?
Like, I don't think he was looking out for Amber B in particular. I just think he wanted to stir the pot before he left, which I'm fine with. But
Of
to
course.
say, and then Jenna, you're fine if you feel that way, that he really was looking out for Amber B. I don't think he cared. I think he just wanted to say, tell
He cares.
somebody. And that was if she felt that Veronica talked with her earlier and was like, no, I would, we got to work together. He realized that that was the right person to get all fired up before he left. Are him and Amber B even friends? Who knows? Corey, who knows who Corey's friends with? I have no
Yeah,
idea.
it's
Who's
true. Yeah.
really friends with versus just trying to play game with or whatever he's doing. I know we're not doing mailbags as much anymore, but there was one mailbag that I thought was hilarious. Did you
Was it from
see?
Adam Larson?
Well, Adam wrote some great stuff. But the one that was really funny is kind of about Adam. Actually, it's actually very much about Adam. Remember I posed the question last week, like, who's not rooting for Adam and Steve? Like
Right.
what like I want and
Oh yeah.
I said give me a reason in the comments why, just so I can better don't just say you're not rooting for them. Tell me why. So this one person, it started with a J. They wrote, I'm not rooting for Adam. He basically said he's got Avery, he's won already. And I'm like, that's hilarious.
True.
That was really fun. Okay. I mean, obviously he did it in a
Okay.
joking manner, he or she, but that was really, really funny.
Hmm.
Let me try to give credit to this person. Hold on. It's JMSK 248. Congrats. You made me laugh.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I know everyone at home was wondering who it was, so there you go. Any final thoughts on this episode? Uh, I love that Corey layup is gone. That was so great. Okay. No, we're good. No final thoughts.
No, I'm excited for next week. It was fun to see things shaken up a little bit.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was fun to know once Adam and Steve won the daily. I'm like, we're guaranteed to see them in episode 7. Like we're guaranteed every week. It's been, will we even get to see them next week? I was like, oh, we're guaranteed. Finally, it was kind of like when they used to do guy girl eliminations. So if a guy that you were rooting for made it through, like, okay, I'm guaranteed if he makes it through 4, 5, and now he gets 5, and then obviously 6, and maybe he'll go home, maybe he'll stay, but at least he gets 2 more episodes. So it kind of felt like that. Um, so yeah, Jenna, final thoughts.
Oh. No, it was good. I'm excited for the next one.
Okay, and we all wore gray tonight on accident. So congrats to us.
Although I thought this was blue,
I
but
know, and yours and Pam's looks kind of black, but I thought they were all gray.
A dark gray
All right.
in real life. It looks blacker now because the lighting has changed, but it is a dark gray. And Jenna,
Okay.
I see the blue. It's just a
I
slate
can see
blue.
the blue now, yes, but
Yeah,
mine is 100% gray.
yours is gray.
Mine's gray.
Yours is no doubt about it
No
gray.
doubt about it, gray. That's
Yep.
the guy. Hashtag Daria if you're still watching.
Yeah,
yes,
hashtag Daria.
like
All right,
that.
love you guys. Thank you.
All
All
right.
Okay, bye.
right.
Bye.